Moving on to, we have discussed to habitual delinquent. Moving on to paragraph 11, that the crime committed in consideration of price, reward, or promise. So, that's understandable. Ang krimen, gibuhat, tungod kay naay consideration. That the crime committed by means of in addition, file, poison, explosion, stranding of a vessel or intentional damage thereto, derailment, or the use of any other artifice involving great waste and ruin. So nakay pat yun. Ning sakay og bus, ang gibuhat nimo imo ang sa man. Giguba ang brake system sa bus para mamatay buto imong patyon. So that's derailment of a locomotive for the purpose of committing specific model imuhang giangin tanan. So that's aggravating circumstances. It will include all the injuries sustained by the persons riding the bus. If there was death or serious physical injury, the person who sabotage the braking system of the bus will be liable for all the consequences of his actions. So, mo na ang pasabot aning paragraph 12 nga kung nakaipat yung usa imuhang mangdamay ka, walay problema ang akusado nga iyahang pabuton ang isa ka sakyanan or sunugon ang isa ka balay para lang mapatay ang isa ka tao. Of course, he will be liable. He will answer to all the injuries and deaths. This is aggravating circumstances. So, he will answer for that, and then he will answer that if he found guilty, then he will be punished at the maximum period of the law. Muna siya pasabot. So, na aggravating circumstance, he will answer for all the criminal liabilities as consequence of his action. Moving on to paragraph 13, evident premeditation, na plano, na pagplano nga buhaton ng usa ka butang. Like model, so giplanuhan. Evident premeditation is na sufficient lapse of time para mo create og plano para pod nga dili madakpan or mas successful ang isa ka butang nga buhaton. So mo na siya pasabot og evident premeditation. Now, how do you provide evidence for that? It depends on how do you what is the crime committed, and the evidence may be composed of testimony or documentary evidence, kanang mga resibo sa palit niya nga, say for example, pangkalot, or things like that. So, you can provide evidence for that, documentary evidence or testimonial evidence. Evident premeditation, pagplano nga maayo para successful ang isa ka krimen nga buhaton, and then possibly dili madakpan ang gabuhat. Mo na siya evident premeditation. That craft, fraud, disguise be employed. So na mga pag-ilad. Again, if this craft, fraud, or disguise is inherent in crime, like for example, estafa, na kay pag-ilad diya, so dili na siya ma-consider as aggravating, as estafa as part of the elements of the estafa. I hope you have at least browse with the modules so that you have an idea of the paragraphs that I have been discussing. Now, moving on to 15, advantage taken of superior strength or means employed to weaken the defense. So, namoy the accused with the aid of his friends committed serious physical injury to the victim with a superior strength. Kung daghan sila, that's superior strength. Then, usa ka tao. Then, employed or means employed to weaken the defense. So, iya gihubugdan o sa niya gikulata or gidugmak. So, that's what you call that, to weaken the defense. O iyang gihubog, no, just the same. That the act committed with treachery. Treachery is pagtraidor, kanang stabbing in the back, at the back. So that's a basic definition of treachery. So that the treachery is when the offender commits any of the crimes against person, employing means, methods, or forms in the execution which tend directly or specially to ensure its execution without risk to himself, arising from the defense of the offended party might make. So, pag traitor lagi imo ang likuron para dili siya maka balos, dili siya maka-repel sa attack, dili siya maka-prevent sa attack or sa aggression. So that's treachery. Na siya ipapariha o kuan sa evident premeditation, but treachery is pag-traitor gamit sa pamaagi nga especially nga mabuhat yun niya ang krimen. It's the same or maybe some of its definition may fall with the evident premeditation. So, paresa nang mupatay og bata, then that's treachery or abuse of superior strength. Now, again, the aggravating circumstances may be appreciated, may be considered in one offense, but the penalty cannot be more than what is prescribed by law. So, bisag na ay daghang aggravating circumstances, ang penalty is maximum gyud. If the penalty is, say for example, ang maximum is 6 months on 1 day to 6 years, that's prison correctional, dili siya mo lapaw og prison mayor. Prison mayor is prison mayor is 6 to 12 years. So, dili siya mo ingana. Nala siya sa maximum period of prison correctional. So, bisag daghang aggravating, nalagyan na siya sa maximum period of the penalty imposed by law. And then, moving on, ignominy. Ignominy, what is ignominy means? Ignominy means adding disgrace to the material injury to the caused by the crime. So, wala siya laing purpose is to add disgrace and cause further humiliation to the victims, like paludhon nimo or ipakita nimo sa mga anak pagpatay sa ilang amahan, that's ignominy. Or ang victim gipakalot sa iyang kaugalingong lubnganan and then he was shot later on, that's ignominy. And then the accused raped the person he stabbed. So while the person was dying, it's like brutality, but it's ignominy. It adds disgrace to the material injury caused by the crime and to cause further humiliation to the victim. That's ignominy. We move on to the unlawful entry. That the crime committed be after an unlawful entry. So, now, unlawful entry kanang mga dili dapat agian sa, say for example, bintana, not the way he enters into the place is not intended for entrance. So after unlawful entry mo commit siya og crime that's aggravating. Now, if the unlawful entry and dwelling exist in the same crime, then both can be appreciated. Not a crime. Now, moving on, that means to the commission of the crime, a wall, roof, floor, door, window be broken. So breaking and entering, that's basic. Imong gubon bintana, uh, window, door, floor para maka-gain access. Probably, most probably in crimes against property. Na 20 that the crime committed with the aid of persons under 15. So that's aggravating kanang mga na patabang kag minor, or by means of motor vehicle or other similar means. So kanang mga riding in tandem, the use of motor vehicle in committing homicide or murder, that's murder, not homicide. Riding in tandem, the motor vehicle used will be appreciated as aggravating circumstances. The aid or with armed men, that's aggravating circumstances. Aggravating circumstances also, and if he was uh, aided by a minor 15 years of age, that is also aggravating circumstance. So there are at least 1, 2, 3, 4 aggravating circumstances under Article 20, Paragraph 20 of the revised Article 14. Now, Paragraph 21. The wrong done in the commission of the crime deliberately augmented by causing other wrong not necessarily for its commission. So what is the example of that? I believe this is example of not cruelty. Let me check. Yes, this is cruelty. Deliberate augmentation of the wrong done falls within the concept of cruelty. So kanang mga dugayon nimo pag, or not you, the accused prolonged the agony of his victim before killing him. That's cruelty. Then cruelty is physical suffering of the victim. So yang gipahinay-hinay o pahirap ang victim before killing him. That's cruelty. To prolong the suffering of the victim, causing unnecessary moral and physical pain. So, kung patyo nimo. So, now, if the offender prolong the agony of the victim. So, that's it. In aggravating circumstances, there is no analogous circumstance. The paragraphs provided for are specific or classified by five classifications, as I've discussed a while ago. And then, unlike aggravating circumstances, there is no similar or analogous circumstances. We will move on to alternative circumstance next time, and we'll see you again. Now, if you have questions, you can ask that in your comment section. Be sure to write your name and section in the comment section so that I could see your attendance. I will see to it that I will check all the attendance, because if you have taken time to watch the lectures, I will take time to also to check your attendance and your performance. And that way we will reward each other for this subject. That will be all. See you again next time.